super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
We are live, you poor sons of bitches. How's everybody doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. Yes, I am sitting on one of our kitchen stools. Why? Because somebody broke my fucking chair. And the local Walmart doesn't have any.
Bro, there's another one right there.
I didn't know that.
How do you not know that? It is 7 feet, 7.5 feet in front of you.
Because I come
bought it.
Screaming in here.
You didn't come in here. You were earlier than you've been in like 3 years.
I know, because I took an hour off from work early. Because why? Because I'm going to see my kid and have a cigar after this.
Wally World.
And they did, yeah. And I stopped in at Wally World on the way here, and they don't have these, which are fucking badass, man. I like that you have the vibrating, the lips and stuff. That come out.
Nothing works though.
No, is that
it's supposed to have like a warming butthole thingy, you know?
Oh, it just flashed red, green, and yellow.
I know, but it doesn't actually work.
How do you get the lips to come out? And
I don't know, dude. No, I can't even get the warming to turn on, much less the fucking suction machine.
That's because
Dude, you ever seen one of those blowjob vending machines that they have in like the Orient?
Yes.
Okay. Clearly you have not.
No.
I'm not like making shit up. You've never seen a blowjob vending machine?
No.
This is not one of those jokes I wrote ahead of time for the show. It's a fucking thing. Type in.
Our viewership just shot straight through the roof right now. They're like, wait, what?
Where? Blowjob
vending machine Orient.
Let's see.
The Google machine just broke. Joe, they're the best. Get the fuck out of here.
I know. See? I told you it wasn't a fucking joke, man. Dude, I am the most random fucking not. Dude, I like to just know things. I thought that's a guy thing. But how do you not know those blowjob vending machines, bro?
What the fuck is going on in our country? Why is this not on every street corner?
We are terrible, bro. You know, okay, listen. You know, no man.
It's like 1,000 angel fingers.
Ever done wrong on a day. His day started with a blowjob. Hitler didn't kill a single Jew on a day he got a blowjob.
No. What was that bitch's name? Eva or some shit like that?
Do you think fucking McVeigh fucking got a blowjob the morning he fucking made things go boom?
City. You're right.
Get the fuck out of here. Look, women, dudes, whatever. We don't live in a world where we're going to get a blowjob every morning. So give us a fucking vending machine.
That's BJ's for world peace.
Tell me
we're starting a new nonprofit.
We're gonna have fucking guys like Jocko and fucking all the fucking
Goggins.
They're gonna be walking around like this. Oh, peace, love. Because everybody gets a blowjob every morning. Fucking drain and smiles.
All we're gonna do is walk around. Dude, we are gonna put the fucking Chapstick company out of business. That's our next. We were talking about this Saturday night around the campfire. Like people were asking, like, "Hey, you know, who would you want to sponsor the show?" I'm like, "We have the best sponsors ever. We have Combat Flip. Yeah, well, we have Combat Flip Flops. We have Thigh Huggers. Use the code AboutFace and use the code fucking One Shot. And yeah, we need fucking Chapstick. And now we need Brazzers. This is it. We're gonna
Adam and Eve.
We are gonna fucking solve world peace right here. Israel and fucking and free Diddy. Israel and Iran. Exactly. And fucking Johnson and Johnson's baby oil.
Fuck me. Dude.
We've been working so hard to get Johnson and Johnson to fucking sponsor the show with Lysol. We've been working on this for 3 years.
You're on the wrong product.
We are. We need to get.
Dude, I had to put something in motion. I don't know how to do that with the board because I don't actually have a board position. But they all, for some reason, want me there and like listen to me. So I'm going to nominate that we replace the Lysol bottle with some baby oil.
Hang on. Our guest is like, hey, how do I get on the show?
Well, click the link.
I'm going to have to send him the link. Hang on one second. This is fucking awesome. But yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, what in the fudge?
What? Tell me. Talk to me, Goose.
Dude,
we're going to solve fucking world peace.
Oh, yeah. We can go back to that, too, if you want to.
No, but
yes,
Carl.
world peace. Fucking blowjobs, bro.
Yeah. No, the Carl
more
I sent
sex,
you.
more blowjobs.
You don't like the Carl I sent you?
No, I barely clicked on it.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I said, what the fuck is going on with this, Carl? Because this is from Rob Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking you, what the fuck is going on with it?
Oh, you know what it is? It keeps getting fucking bounced back in the email. His email's not going through. That's the heartache we have here.
Why don't you just text him the link?
That's what I'm about to do.
Or Messenger. Or
That's
IGZ, homie.
That's literally what I didn't realize that it wasn't going through to his email. So now I got to fix all that shit. Sent emails. That's the problem. And when I said, hey, can you confirm that you got it? And he didn't. There's my heartaches right there. Copy link. He didn't get it. And there we go. The Carl. You don't like the Carl? I thought it was funny as fuck balls.
This sounds like it's from the fucking Onion, bro. Get the fuck out of here. This has got to be some weird shit.
This comes from what time is it? Yeah, we're all right. We're on time.
Yeah.
All right.
What the extremely disturbing and unethical.
This comes from The Guardian.
Yes. The new rules allow VA doctors to refuse to treat Democrats, unmarried veterans. Okay, hold on.
What?
Real quick, before we try and fucking make this twisted.
What?
Replace the word Democrats with Republicans.
I'm listening.
Replace unmarried with married. They didn't say they don't have to treat Democrats. There's some weird fucking thing, even if this is true. They just don't have, they can't turn somebody down for race, sexual preference, but they can characteristics. So it's any characteristics. Don't try to make it just some prejudice ass Republicans. But
is it your implication
this
that
is
our
crazy.
Nation's media might have misleading information?
Yes, but also like this is some shit from the Onion, bro. This is some Onion shit.
No, this is The Guardian, man. This is a source of news. Doctors at the Department of Veterans Affairs nationwide could refuse to treat unmarried veterans and Democrats under new hospital guidelines imposed following an executive order by Donald Trump.
Please explain that. You've obviously read more on this. You're like,
no, I didn't read anything. I just read the headline. What are you talking about, man? Medical staff are still required to treat veterans regardless of race, color, religion, and sex, and all veterans remain entitled to treatment. But individual workers are now free to decline to care for patients based on personal characteristics not explicitly prohibited by federal law. Language requiring healthcare professionals to care for veterans, regardless of their politics and marital status, has explicitly been eliminated. What? It's in the news, brother. It's in The Guardian. I don't understand. I mean, what's your heartache, man? I would think this would be a good thing. You know how we feel about Democrats and unmarried people. The look on your face is fucking classic.
It's the dumbest shit I've ever
Isn't
heard.
it though? What the fuck? Who reads this bullshit and is like, yeah, fuck Trump? What the fuck, man?
What? I don't even know what that. It doesn't even make sense.
Who reads this shit and believes it?
I have no fucking idea. I'm like, look, even if this is real, why is it say it clearly states it? So basically, this news story is telling me that there's an unprotected area of personal characteristics, whatever, or personal descriptors, whatever you want to fucking call it. But it isn't particular to one party, you fucking prejudiced, biased motherfuckers.
Who does this?
And either way, I find that still hard to believe, but let's say it is.
Not someone went through the process of fucking writing that article, printing that, and some editor's like, yeah, let's put that shit in the fucking news. That's a great idea. What the hell were you thinking? And let's put that fucking out there.
I don't know.
And this is the bullshit that our nation has to deal with and calls it media.
Mm-hmm. Calls it news.
And people have to give that shit fucking time.
It is media. It's not news.
Yeah.
Blowjob.
Yeah.
Machine just popped up. Dude, you know what's so fucked up is, for the next like 72 hours, my algorithms
is going to be fucking awesome. Adam and Eve, chapstick,
Adam and Eve, like male masturbators.
Just because you Googled that shit from fucking Asia. That is so awesome.
Oh,
I can't believe that's a thing. And what is happening in our nation where I can't walk in, fucking swipe my card? Would you like to leave a tip? Yes. 25%. Yes. Why am I leaving a tip while I'm ordering standing up at a restaurant and I can't leave a tip there?
Here's what's funny though. Like, at no point did any of us even stop for 1 second, think like, do I really want to stick my dick in some machine?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is this safe? No, we're like, blowjob. Like, no thought existed whatsoever. Besides,
what is the?
It's like we're like, oh, red dye number 5, and I'm like, shove my dick in this like fucking MRI machine. It'll be fine, but we don't worry about it.
I've got the can of Lysol here that they use to clean that bitch, which hasn't moved off that table in years. And oh my God, why?
It'll take over your timeline.
Oh my gosh, I love it, and I love our audience. They're thrilled with the thing, dude. It's just awesome. I don't get it, man. That is so cool. Well, how and what does your country look like where you got like the blow butt job machines on the corner?
Better than others. Less dead people, less violence.
Yeah, no shit. Well,
less domestic violence. Look,
there would be no LA riots right now.
No. Everybody be too busy sticking their dick in Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, that would be so awesome. Let me make sure that our and who can hate a BJ machine? And when it breaks down, there'd be a line of guys waiting for the guy to fix it.
Bro, awkward. Well, no, because there's one on every corner. It's like the new phone booth. I miss phone booths, bro. That's where, that's where you got good news.
What do you mean?
You know where to get a blowjob? Just name this show.
Where to get a blowjob? Oh my God, dude. That is so awesome. I can't even tell if there's so many open windows right now that I can't even tell if our guest is in the waiting room, but that is so hysterical.
I know. I don't know how to use any of this.
You
should have seen when
he
Joe
just texted me. I'm
backstage. I'm backstage. Is it green there or is it blue? Oh crap!
So you are logging in at just the wrong time, man. You are logging in at the worst possible lead-in. I am so sorry for the lead-in to your appearance.
It's his fault.
It really is. What's up, man? It's so good to see you. How you been, dude?
How you doing, Rob? I'm doing well, man.
I'm better than I deserve. How's things?
I'm extremely good. Been busy.
I really hope your beautiful wife is not listening to your radio appearance right now. I'm so sorry, man. That is a beautiful woman, and I'm so sorry if she's listening tonight.
It was the granddaughter that I told to go downstairs.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so sorry, Soul. I'm so sorry, man.
It's all right.
I think I told you the radio show's a little bit rough around the edges, so I apologize. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, that's exponentially beyond that, brother.
Yes, it is.
Usually I'm the PG one, and you're the terrible one.
Even
I was a little.
That was a little. I'm sweating now. Now I'll repent. I promise. I promise I will repent. How is my boy Doc? You talked to him lately?
Doc's doing good. Yeah, they just actually they went out and shot hundreds of prairie dogs last Thursday with a veteran, actually a Marine Corps veteran from Vietnam.
Wow, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. That's nothing but good stuff, man. You guys showed me a side of Nebraska that I didn't even know existed. What a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah, man. Don't tell anybody though.
No, that state is a hole, man. What a dump. Yeah.
No,
if you've seen I-80, you've seen all of it.
I mean, that spot, his spot there is one of the best spots in the state. It's pretty amazing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show my friend Brian Soliday. He is the founder of Rocky Mountain Heroes Foundation. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Sincerely appreciate you taking time out of your Monday night to be a part of the show. So yeah, a lot of people listening right now have no idea what it is that you do. Please, let's start at the beginning. Are you a veteran yourself? Would you mind introducing yourself and tell us about your pathway?
Yeah. So my name is Brian Soliday. I go by, my friends call me Sol, and that came out of a breakdancing dance group in the 70s called the Sol and Dr. J. My buddy and I were breakdancers. I no longer do that, but
it's the first thing I thought when I looked at you.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, I mean, my journey, I'm not a veteran. My father was a Marine, my brother was a Marine, my cousin were Marine, my best friends growing up in high school, my three guys I hung out with, they all went and served as well. I was blessed and provided a scholarship to play football in college, so I didn't go. But about 15 years ago, through the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, I was at the time the state chair, state volunteer chair, and an outfitter offered me the opportunity. He said, "Hey, do you want to bring a couple of disabled vets down, maybe Purple Heart recipients, and have them do a deer hunt?" And so I picked up the phone. I called, information at down at Fort Carson, and lo and behold, a couple of months. It took me about 4 months to get somebody to actually help me, and had a couple of guys lined up and took them on a hunt. And had a great weekend, and one of them happened to be a guy, Command Sergeant Major Dale Veniclausen, and we became dear friends. And fast forward, a dozen years, and he's one of our founders. He's out of the three founders. Doc and I are not vets. Dale is. Dale's just recently retired. He was the command sergeant major of the 110 Cab down at Carson. And then as a civvy, he served managing the range down there on base as well. So you kind of cycling through some of those pictures. Our focus is really family, and so we help. We focus on taking veterans and their kids on big game hunts, and so we have a number of veteran hunts that we do. And then for the kids, these are all first-time youth hunters. So the only kids we take are youth that have never taken a big game animal before, and we take them out and we make sure they're successful. We want them to have a great first time, a first engagement with being a hunter, and be successful, and try to lock them in to be hunters for life, right? Because that's the key thing, and build a memory with their parents. Because a lot of these guys, they may have been deployed when the kid was younger and stuff, and so for them to be able to take their son and daughter out is a pretty special opportunity for us. We help make them, build these long-term, lifelong memories, right, of being able to take their first animal, and that's really critical.
I can't say enough about the things that you guys do. I really wish that Doc had been able to, reach down and figure it out and be a part of it, because he and I had some amazing conversations over the weekend that we spent together, and he and I really got to know each other, and he had some great conversations, and I really, really enjoyed my time with him. And I really wish that he could have been here this evening. I understand this is not his jam, but yeah, I really enjoyed my time.
Yeah, I love to see myself and talk about and talk. Him, not so much.
The organization is absolutely incredible. I just can't say enough good things. I can't say enough good things about it. And
we appreciate that. And the key thing is that we're volunteers. We don't get paid, right? So this is Brian's second job. I serve as chief revenue officer for a digital mapping company, and that's my 60-hour-a-week job. But weekends and evenings, I get to do this, and it's a lot of work. But if you can imagine, last year I did 34 hunts, and 17 of those were first-time youth hunters. And being on a hunt with a kid that takes their animal for the first time, it's an amazing experience, and I get to do that over and over and over. So I mean, it takes a lot, but I get a lot out of it, and that's what brings me back, right?
And that's just it. Is you spend your day, working your ass off, sitting behind a desk, sending emails, and you spend your week crafting the perfect email to get a 1-word response and whatever else, and staring out windows and whatever else, and then you get to go spend time in our nation's heartland and see our nation, and go sit in a field and sit behind a tree and watch turkeys walk across. And elk. Who knew there were fucking elk in Nebraska?
We saw some dandy bulls, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. I had no idea there were elk in Nebraska, much less that big.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there chilling and watching these dudes walk across.
Yeah.
And then you get to go spend some time with the landowner and get to know him. That dude that is the heart of America. You get to meet the people who you got to serve for any length of time, 12 years, 10 years, however much
Almost
time
10,
you spent,
a little under 10.
20 years in, these are the people that you got to serve for.
Yeah.
And that was what made it all worthwhile. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Brian's a great guy, and
both powerful weekend.
Both his sons served, right? And one's active right now. So, I mean, that's where his heart is.
Yeah. And just sitting in that field and just hanging out and just looking out across those fields and the expanse of our nation. It was just a powerful, powerful weekend.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, that's what it's about, right? It's just getting you out, having a little bit of fun, take some game, and that's all a part of it. And we don't charge people. I mean, it's all volunteer. We take, it's the costs associated with it. We handle everything, and we don't, we're very focused. So we're focused on vets that live in Colorado and Wyoming, and we do hunts in Colorado and Wyoming, right?
Well, I mean, and you stuck with it.
The only one we don't is our turkey hunt in Nebraska, because Brian's such a great guy, and I'm originally from Nebraska, so I love going back.
Saul, where are you from?
Omaha originally.
That's not Nebraska. I thought you said you're from Nebraska. What the fuck? This guy.
Look who's from Nebraska.
Yeah. No. And I interface a lot with veterans, because when I was a graduate student, I taught a undergraduate Earth and Environmental Science course on SAC headquarters base down in Bellevue.
Where are you from in Nebraska?
Holdridge. I was born in Holdridge, but my family's farms in Beaver City.
Okay, so quick story. When I was in grad school, I spent a summer out near between Holdridge and Clay Center and Funk, out doing ground truthing off of aerial photos for
the airport.
A digital mapping project for the Corps of Engineers. It's called.
I was just going to say there's like nothing in between Holdridge and Funk besides the airport. There's like 7 miles of nothing in the airport.
There's water as a production in the spring. It's a production area, one of the top production areas for ducks, and it's called the Rain Basin. And so we were out. It was a contract we had at the university, and I did a lot of work in the summer.
That's super cool.
Let's back things up a little bit, boys. There's a Funk, Nebraska.
Yeah. There's actually
that's pretty cool.
Online university there. Did you know that?
No, but I want to go there.
Yeah, you can go to Funk U.
Yeah. How long have you been saving that joke?
I might have used it once or twice. No, seriously, the 7 miles down, 7 miles I think is Funk from Holdridge, something like that.
It's east of there. I don't know. They got Funk and then Clay Center and all that. I mean,
it's like right down the road.
Right. There's a lot of cool. I mean, there's a lot of small cities, right? I mean, I used to go out every year to Doniphan, Nebraska. I'm sure you know where Doniphan is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was where they held the state powerlifting championship. So we go there every year.
I feel like this is a good time for me to go get a drink so you guys can bond.
When Rob called me, he's like, "Hey, did you know Nebraska's fucking beautiful?" And I was like, "Well, it's not just feedlots and cornfields. It's just like 80% feedlots and cornfields. The rest of it's beautiful, but."
Yeah,
we got a lot of feedlots and cornfields.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. I loved it.
It is. There's some really cool areas,
and the people are just. I was blown away. I just absolutely the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
It's a little different.
It was super cool. Super cool. What do you call it? But anyway, back to Rocky Mountain Heroes Foundation. Sorry about that. Yeah, super cool place. Anyway, what do you call it? And yeah, getting veterans. He and I say this all the time. Veterans do not do well when we sit in a circle in folding chairs, sipping shitty coffee, holding hands.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Yeah, we don't. That is not our therapy. What you're doing, that is our therapy. That we decompress there.
So, how do you find your veterans? How do they apply? How does that all work out?
Yeah, so they go rmheroes.org is our website, and it says registration. So they just go there and register. And we ask that they tell us a little, give us their contact info, but also, if you have any awards or anything, because there's some of our donors, like we have like our bison hunt, it's a Purple Heart hunt, and we take a Purple Heart recipient. So we want to know, different awards and stuff that people have. And then so based on that, then I put together a list of potential candidates, and that'll be happening here real soon. I'll take that whole list of registrants and I'll send it out and say, here's the hunts we have for this year for veterans. And you tell me number 1, number 2, and number 3, which are the ones you want to go on. And
that was literally going to be my next question is how do you triage your vets coming in? Yeah. Do you have like, we do this Army hunt where it's just Army guys, a Marine one, or how you guys kind of work through that, and then so forth and so on. So that you kind of answered my next question pretty much.
Yeah. And then, there's some hunts like a bull elk hunt, right? And everybody wants to go on a bull elk hunt, right? And so you'll get, a lot of guys that just want to do that and say, if I don't do that, I don't want to do anything. Okay. Right. And so then what I generally do is we'll put the names in a hat, literally names in a hat, and my granddaughter will draw the names, because we just did this last week for all the youth hunts. Right. And I would say if anybody, if there's any females, we're always looking for additional females to participate. Last year we had an all-female elk hunt, right? And my ideal for the youth hunters, it's 50% female, 50% male. So we really try to, and Colorado Parks and Wildlife supports me really, really well with vouchers because we do that. We're trying.
That's very cool. How age do you start for the girls?
Pardon?
What's the youngest age for the girls to do a hunt?
For youth, 12 to 17.
Oh man, you got 11 more years, and I'll do one with you.
Yeah.
I just had one.
Yeah, we just actually drew, and out of our, I don't know, at 16 hunts, so 8 girls, and 4 of those are 12 years old.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's super cool. That's such an awesome bonding experience for them and their parent too.
Yeah, and one of them actually is a female vet and her daughter.
That's why I said with their parent. I was not the guy that said dad. I said parent because I was waiting for that to come out. Mm-hmm. I bet your mom's taking. At least one of them's got to be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. And you offered like, hey, what do you need? What kind of equipment do you need? You offered, basically everything I needed. I mean, I had everything I needed, but you guys offered everything I needed if I wanted it.
Yeah, and our big game hunts, we require everybody to use our firearms. So, we kind of got tired of people showing up with Grandpa's 243, and they say, "Oh yeah, it hits 4 inches high at 100." Oh, okay, so where's it at 3? Where's it at 325? Well, it's about no, don't tell me about. Tell me where, right? So now I invested personally, not the foundation, but I invested in Seekins Precision, the Havoc Elements, high-end firearms. They shoot quarter MOA. I just shot a 1/8 inch group last weekend with one of them. And then we use our ammo. We just use factory Hornady, and we get great performance out of everything. So they don't have to worry about a gun. It's really easy for the kids. We have them set up on a bog tripod on one of the death grips, and I have laser etched turret. I've chronographed everything, laser etched turret. So we arrange it as 3 1/4. I turn it to 325. We don't have to worry about it. Just hold where that single reticle is on the animal, and if you pull the trigger, it's going to drop.
Why don't you tell us about some of your sponsors? Because you've got some great sponsors.
Yeah, we do have some great sponsors. So Seekins is really helpful to us. Burris Optics out of Greeley, Colorado, is incredibly supportive of us. In terms of providing materials, and every kid that comes gets their hat that I give them that they wear to the hunt. The orange hat is from Burris as well. Anheuser-Busch is a big supporter of us. They do donation matching. So some of our supporters who work for AB InBev will do a donation, and then they do a match. So every $1,000 we get 2,000 in our pocket, which is really
Wow.
and then down in the Springs, God's Pantry Ministry has really stepped up and helped us and did a real significant donation for us just recently. So, they help out veterans locally there in the Springs, but they really like what we're doing what we're doing to support veterans as well. So, yeah. And then, there's a number of other organizations. Onyx Hunt, if you're a 3-year member, if you sign a 3-year membership, you get 50% off Onyx with us. Back to Burris. Burris gives all of our 3-year members, which is $90, they give you a 50% off certificate for an optic. So if you buy a thermal, you're saving $2,100.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is, right? Yeah. So anyway, it's got some great people, and it's helpful because we're all about, it's all volunteer, and we don't do fundraising events like raffles or anything like that, because we've only been in business for 3 years, and you have to be in for 5 years before you can do that.
So how can people support you? What are you looking for? What can people do to support you? Looking for volunteers? You looking for money? What are you looking for?
Yeah, we're looking for money. Cash donations are always great. You get a membership, and 100% of that goes to us. We don't use anything out of the membership fees as well. And then one of the things they can do is register, man, because we're always looking for more people to guys with special requirements or something like that's going to be helpful. Right?
Very cool. What about volunteers? Are you looking for help?
We're not really, because we, all the hunts we do tend to be myself, Dale, and Doc that do it. And we have a couple of outfitters that help us on some hunts, but we're really not looking. Today we're not looking for people to help and take people out, and primarily because of our insurance. And man, I wouldn't just hand over a kid first hunt to somebody else. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
I appreciate that.
That's why we've tried to keep it, limited to Wyoming and Colorado. We could grow nationally, but I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to, if it becomes a job, then I think it would ruin it for me. I don't want it to be a job. I like what I do right now.
That's one of the reasons I kind of like the smaller, like owner operator. I don't want to say owner operator, but the smaller program, because the dude is the dude all the way through, from like hands-on, like selecting and making sure we're getting the right veterans in there, to seeing them get through it, talking with them, being around them, making sure close a business closes out well. I kind of think that's one of the jams that a lot of these smaller ones, not saying that in a bad way, but where you're like, look, it's us three, we run it, we could go national, but we like to be helicopter parents. I think that's maybe, in my opinion, the best way.
What about land or firearms or ammunition or things like that? Are you looking for tangibles?
Firearms sequence steps up and helps us there. So we don't need anything right now. Land access. I mean, if you have landowners that would be open to letting us have access to hunt, that's more than helpful, right? That's more than helpful. And actually, some of the trespass fees that we have to pay are actually underwritten by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. So last 2 years, they've given us grants so that we don't have to spend our money for the access fees. They help us. And then and then what we do is we require, the hunters to not only be a member of us, but to be a member of the Elk Foundation, because they've been helpful in helping to underwrite literally, several $100s per kid to get us on property. And we have, we have access to over 100,000 acres across the state. And I'm leaving my house at 4 a.m. tomorrow to meet a landowner down in about 7 miles from New Mexico, out in southeastern Colorado, that has property that they want us to bring down veterans and kids for deer and elk hunts.
Nice. That's where I'm trying to go for elk this year myself. So good on you. Well done. Yeah. So I can talk to you about this obviously all night for obvious and selfish reasons, but I want to get you back to that granddaughter of yours. So I'm going to pass you off to my hetero life mate over here. He's going to give you all the outgoing instructions. And yeah, man.
All right, Saul, thanks for being on. I really do like your program. I really appreciate the way you guys are doing it. Good job.
Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. At the end of your time, we give you about 2 minutes. If there's anything you had thought about before the show you wanted to put in, any subjects that were just off topic and you wanted to throw in there sometimes, now's kind of the time. Make sure you remind us of your .coms.org handles, where to find you, so forth and so on. We'll try not to interrupt, but your time is now.
All right, cool. Thanks. Yeah. So, I mean, for our website, it's RM Heroes, and it's RMHEROES.org. And from there, you can register, you can, become a member or whatever you want to do there. On social media, on Facebook, it's Rocky Mountain Heroes Foundation. You can find us there as well. And then if you do LinkedIn, I do a fair number of posts on LinkedIn as well. We have a LinkedIn handle of Rocky Mountain Heroes Foundation as well. So, we're careful on the LinkedIn side to post just photos of people out together and families together, not necessarily kill scenes. Whereas on Facebook, I share a lot of success photos with the kids, right? And again, trying to get additional youth hunters, because we were a little short on youth hunters. So I posted on iHunt Colorado a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, we're coming down, time to draw. If you've got kids, please sign up. And I had probably 80% of the people that signed up were from out of state. I was kind of bummed. Yeah. And it was like, we need more, and maybe, maybe they're not, you would think the iHunt Colorado Facebook page, that's where the people would participate, but not so much. Anyway.
I get you.
Yeah.
Well, Saul, again, I could talk to you all night. I appreciate it. Really appreciate you taking the time to be on the show tonight, on taking the time out of your Monday night. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Brian Saul Soliday with Rocky Mountain Heroes Foundation. If you are looking to take yourself or your child out hunting for the first time, you should definitely check out Rocky Mountain Heroes Foundation. Excellent organization. If you just have way too much money sitting in your bank account and you're looking for a great place to park it, you should definitely check these folks out. Nebraska sucks. It's a terrible state. It looks just like I-80. Never go there. Yeah.
Don't even get off I-80.
Don't even get off I-80.
Stay on I-80.
Gas is expensive. Never go there. Speed through there. Yep. Drive really fast. Terrible state. Terrible state. Brian, I can't thank you enough.
All right, guys.
Great rest of your Monday night.
Thanks. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
I wonder what percentage of revenue for Nebraska is I-80 and Stadies.
About $224 that I'm aware of.
Did you get one? You got an award?
I've gotten several.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, across the years. Yeah. Well, I hate Kansas as a rule, so I avoid Kansas. I will intentionally go up through Nebraska and take Nebraska. It's a much nice. So I've run out of gas in Kansas because truckers will not let me over on the bike. And yeah, I've run out of gas on the bike in the middle of Kansas and had to push that motherfucker. So yeah, I will intentionally go through.
These are problems I don't think anybody in the history of riding a motorcycle has ever had.
Just me.
Have you ever heard anybody else say, I couldn't get over because of truckers to get gas, so I ran out of gas? I don't believe. Listeners, if there's a single one of you that's ever had that happen, please call us and let us know.
I carry extra fuel tanks, and I usually don't use them for me.
I just want to point out that I can't tell if Michael Connors gave me a compliment or was talking shit. He's like,
I'm always going to assume he's talking shit.
Listen, he pointed out I was politically correct.
You were.
I appreciate that. But then he also said it was the first time ever. I try, man. But you know what it was from? Michael Connors. I took an ethics class today. And I took this weekend, Friday and Saturday, I had to take a professionalism in the workplace course for the state of Colorado.
Did you pass the?
I haven't, dude. I have to fucking. I haven't taken the exams yet. Well, I got to log hours and then all this stuff, and then I get to do my exams.
So tell me about your professionalism in the workplace class. Well, actually, let's bring Allie on if she's in there.
I'm not professional. I didn't need to be told. I found it out. I found out on my own.
Whoa.
And I don't understand ethics.
Not in the bathtub, but she's in bed. That's got to be good, right? Allie, have you ever taken a professionalism in the workplace? Whoa, she's got the book on it. And it's a big book. Allie, you got to unmute yourself, boss.
That's a giant fucking headboard.
Well, that's where, you got
There's like some antique heavy duty shit. That's dope.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, her neighbors have heard it bang against the wall a couple of times.
No, I don't have neighbors, so like,
I mean, everybody's got neighbors.
Pretty
boss.
steady. It's pretty steady. I have a degree. My master's degree is in organizational leadership. So lots of ethics and workplace. Can't do that. Can't do this. So yeah.
Could you carry one shot through that or what?
I still have my material if you want it.
What does professionalism in the workplace look like?
Look like to me? Well, I got told today. What did I get told today?
Keeping in mind that I smoke cigars in your workshop.
With the ever-changing culture in America at this time, we have to look at whatever we think is good for professionalism and good today and ethics today could change it within 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I literally got fucking told that today. Like whatever is ethically good today because of our changing cultures,
It's society.
everything has about a 48-hour expiration on it.
Mm-hmm.
Allie, what the fuck is sitting next to you?
It's a gerbil.
No, it's Horatio.
Yeah, her
The
gerbil.
fuck do you feed that thing? Anything it wants.
Gerbils.
Yeah, no kidding, bro. What
No,
orifice
he's my
do you put
buddy.
that in?
Hi.
Good Lord, dog.
That's like, that might be bigger than Gary.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's 17 pounds.
I believe that. That is your guard cat, bro.
Yeah, dude, he's quick with his hands. He's like,
I'll bet he is.
He can throw them things.
yeah, he can. Yep. But he's cool. Like he's chill. He doesn't. He's cool.
Yeah, he's got no choice.
He's
Don't
he's
kick
my
my ass,
handsome
bro.
Horatio. He's a good boy.
All
All right.
Those genetics in my barn cats.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mine
Well,
are
your
all like
barn cats don't
7
live long
pounds.
enough.
Yeah, he's only about a year and a half.
What the hell, dude? That dude is surviving on a steady diet of small children.
Yeah, the neighborhood, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Look at him looking at you. Oh, wait, what happened? Hey,
FTK.
we're getting kids?
Oh, wait, where'd they go?
Yeah.
They went outside, Mom?
That dude walked by the Chinese restaurant and 6 kids went missing.
You need a family of 5.
Wow, dude. Anyway, so
Anyway, I'm sure you guys have heard. Listen,
did you you heard about the Guardian article today where the VA is no longer dealing with Democrats or single people?
I did.
It was the start of the show tonight. Yeah, I mean, we're really excited about that. That's got to cut half the VA population in half. I mean,
5 different articles, and I don't get it. And maybe it's because I'm not too smart. Because veterans are a protected class.
what do you mean?
Well, federally.
I mean, except for Democrats and single people, apparently.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why even have this executive order? So now, but then what about the Hippocratic Oath? Doctors swore an oath to treat patients.
I've been called a hypocrite for years. I mean, I don't understand. No big deal.
Allie, can I also point out one more part? Like I'm with you on the whole topic, but you know, it says the executive order they're talking about even states there. It's certain characteristics. It doesn't say specifically Democrats or single people. It could be Republicans and married people.
It doesn't say that.
It doesn't say anything about what it is. It just says
No, it says single. It says unmarried.
in
it
the
says
headline.
No,
In
no.
the executive order, it says unmarried people.
Yes, I've read it. Hold on.
That's what I'm trying to get to. What is this? Does this executive order?
Hold on, let me see. Oh,
That's
I should-
actually the actual executive order, the bill, the whatever the fuck it is,
Oh,
says
I
it
should've
singles out single
fucking
people.
saved it. Hold on, let me.
And then did you hear what Doug Collins had to
And
say
it
about
singles out
No,
Democrats.
I had you guys on mute.
What?
I was trying to
mute.
I was
like being fucking married, bro.
Dude, we are only like used for our good looks.
I know. Here I am being tired of being treated like a piece of meat. No, I'm not.
Stare at your legs. Okay, the rule explicitly excludes provisions that require individual doctors to treat patients regardless of their political affiliation or marital status. The rules were issued to comply with President Donald Trump's executive order designed to strip government protections from transgender individuals. The rule allows doctors to refuse treatment based on non-protected characteristics, which could also include behaviors such as use of alcohol and other substances. In addition, the new rules no longer prohibit the VA from discriminating against potential employees based on national origin, marital status, political labor union. So if you're unionized, you're...
Are you reading from the bill or are you reading from the article in The Guardian?
No, I'm reading from one article, one of many articles, but the bill, let me...
Okay, but even that article, again, you notice how it does not single out single people or married people. It just says...
Okay, the order titled Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports gives federal agencies wide latitude to ensure entities that receive federal funding abide by Title IX in alignment with Trump's administration's view, which interprets sex as the gender someone was assigned at birth. With this executive order, the war on women's sports is over, blah, 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 sports.
So we opened the show with this, Allie. We did Combat Carl with this because we started the show with Combat Carl.
What did you guys talk about?
We started the show with the Guardian article.
Yeah, that was the first one who reported on it.
Reported, is that the word?
Yeah,
is that the word you're going to use?
You notice their headline is like real specific.
Yeah.
But if you actually look at it, it just says, again, I'm not arguing.
Tell me, because every article I've read kind of says the same thing and different.
But even inside the article that you just read, it doesn't say anything about single people. It doesn't say anything about Democrats. It says political affiliation. Like, if I don't want to deal with a Republican, I can just say I don't want to deal with a Republican. If I don't want to deal with a Democrat, I can just not deal with a Democrat. If I don't want to deal with a Libertarian, I just won't deal with a Libertarian, is what it's saying. But the headline says
Democrat and single people.
Right, because we want to think that it's directed from Trump to Democrats and single people.
And Doug Collins came out later in the day and said, these articles are such bullshit. It doesn't say anything like that.
Our attorney friend?
Doug Collins?
No, who's
Doug Collins is the secretary of the VA.
Oh, that guy.
oh yeah, right. I know that guy. What does it say?
I'm a McDonough fan. I love McDonough. I liked Secretary McDonough. I thought he was cool. I liked him. I don't know who the new guy is.
Never met the guy. You deal with him more than we do. So
yeah, McDonough was legit. He was a good dude. I actually liked him, and I don't like politicians, but I liked him.
I ran into some here and there that I think are pretty squared away, but I rarely see them have fire and success. Like they're the ones I'm like, man, you really kind of stand out on really having like best interest, in the forefront of your decision making and thought process. And then
why even have this bill though? Like, why even sign this executive order?
Because they're trying to remove transgender care.
I really want to see anything besides them saying that men cannot participate in women's sports. I want to see the bill and what it exactly says, because all we're seeing is articles.
Right.
And if it's like, I understand part of the whole protecting women's sports thing. I'm very, very, very behind protecting women's sports. That doesn't mean I'm behind this bill. I would like to see more of the.
No, I don't like.
Because the headlines clearly are not.
Well, the other
are deceiving of whatever it is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Allie, but the other heartache is that these bills are written by lawyers in such legalese.
We don't even have to
make it hard for us
that we can't interpret them.
Lay people to understand.
Yeah, I think Joe's got some of it up there. Updated guidelines removed. National origin policy. Well, veterans are still entitled to treatment, but concerns preventing staff from deciding service based on. Well, that's not all that awful, but yeah, these bills are written so atrociously that you and I can't interpret them, even though we have master's degrees. We can't figure out what the fuck they are saying. Yeah. they're so awful to read.
But I don't understand, like, why this is even a thing. Like, one, leave us the fuck alone, dude. Like, leave us alone.
They're just trying to remove transgender care is all it is.
Yeah, that's what I.
So why can't they just fucking say transgender and the marital status? So if I'm single, which I am, right? Like, I'm not married, and the doctor sees this, a doctor can interpret not to give me gynecological care because I'm not married.
I don't believe that is the intent.
But it could happen because that's what it says.
And monkeys can fly out of my butt. Sha.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand this. Okay, go play. Bye.
Go play. I mean, we got 12 minutes left or 10 minutes left.
I'm at the cats. So I don't know. I got to read it. I don't. And I was one of the guys at the VA who was questioned said that that they removed a bunch of stuff from the VA website to make it more in line with guidance from Trump's policy. I don't know. I don't like. Just fucking leave us alone, man. Leave us alone.
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying we got a lot of headlines that are clearly misleading
and trying to
and we don't
panic.
We don't have shit, and everybody's like, "Oh!" And I'm like, dude, please read me the fucking bill that says that because I'm single, I can be declined fucking care because I'm pretty sure. Look, I could be. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that doesn't sound right. And if I take my own mind for 10 seconds and say, what does the media commonly do, which is create panic, where we're like, oh, leave us alone. Like, what the fuck? But in reality, I haven't seen the bill where it says they can fucking decline single people. Like, that sounds so strange.
Well, they removed marital status from the list of protected characteristics. So while veterans are still entitled to treatment, there are concerns that specific rules preventing staff from declining service based on personal stance. So if I was a doctor and you guys came to my clinic and be like, nah, you only have 2 kids, I don't want to treat you. Or nah, you are bald, I don't want to treat you. Or
whoa.
I'm just saying, so all of a sudden, like, we can doctors, but then how can that even be put into practice? Because whether or not you are transgender, doctors took the Hippocratic Oath. So what, I don't get it. I don't understand this.
I don't either, but I'm not going to panic because of the consistent fear mongering that happens in our media.
I'm not going to panic
you know what I mean?
either.
Right.
And honestly, and we can probably put a number to it. How many people does this affect?
I think a few thousand.
There are 4 people this affects. And their names are Bob, Dave, Linda, and Melissa. You know, you can name, we can go find them, you know,
and fix it.
It's such a small population.
No, I had 2 transgender veterans in my office today. One was a fucking colonel. A colonel at the, what's an 06 in the Navy?
Captain, maybe?
Something, whatever. So he's high ranking and he used JAG, and he was the commandant of like the Navy's JAG school, whatever. He's now and she's being forced to retire. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I don't have my health care, like nothing. Like, and I was just like beside myself because here's a good sailor, incredibly intelligent, JAG, led the school, but because this sailor went from he to she's no longer qualified to be an attorney.
There's a couple different things there for us to unpack.
There is way more than 7 minutes to unpack there.
Yeah.
And 6 minutes. I personally do not want to unpack that.
Yeah, because we start getting into too much politics in the show, and suddenly we're not a 501c3 anymore.
Yep.
Right. And I don't want to.
I think this is a good one to drop.
But we, as veterans, like, where's our humanity? Like, downrange.
You just froze on purpose.
Yep.
You know, Article 115 or page 11 for rescuing little boys getting, you know.
See, they're censoring us.
Yeah, exactly.
I am not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a human. And I care for people. I care. Like I want everyone to be happy. Just live your fucking lives. I want people to succeed. I want people to be happy. I want people to not have to starve. I want people to not have to choose between putting food on the table or paying a phone bill. Like I just want people to live their lives. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't care about religion. I don't care if you're fucking gay or I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care.
I want that cat to go on a diet.
No, he's perfect.
Did you really just perfect and stretch out the purr?
Hold on. I don't.
Really, dude?
I chose not to give you a fat joke today. But that also doesn't even allow you to tell that cat to go on a diet, sir.
She put 3 U's in that perfect. Come on.
Perfect.
No.
He's perfect.
Rob's perfect too.
All right, Allie. Kitty Ozempic.
No, he's perfect. Don't listen to them, Horatio. They don't even have hair.
What the hell is Horatio? Is this some anime thing?
No, Horatio. Clearly, you don't know Shakespeare because his buddy is Hamlet.
Did he strike you as a Shakespeare guy? Really? That's what you got out of one shot. So last time he's reading Shakespeare.
Yeah.
When he was in like.
We're talking about
grade.
like Romeo and Juliet, and I'm thinking about like Jet Li and Romeo Must Die.
Horatio Horacio is my dad's name.
Oh,
Horatio
cool.
is also Hamlet's best friend in the play Hamlet.
Hamlet's a play.
I thought it was eggs mixed together with milk and stuff put inside of it.
Yeah, it's a ham. That's why it's Hamlet, not omelet.
Huh.
Hamlet.
Allie, what do you got for the safety brief before I kick you to the curb?
I fucking go read a book, man.
That's awesome. Actually, that's pretty good, actually. All right. Hey, when's your wedding?
Dude, I thought you booked the hotel already.
I'm working on it. Tell the audience when your wedding is.
10/24, October 24th of this year.
You're getting married in October in New England. That's awesome.
Yes. So tons of foliage, and it's right across from the lake. What's the name of that lake? Wampanoag? Massapog?
Wampanoag?
Titicaca?
Massapog. Lake Massapog. And so as the sun is setting, we'll be saying our vows. Very, very romantic.
That's awesome.
And fucking book your hotel, yeah?
Well, not only that, we're trying to book we're going to go to a Bruins game while you're there. We're trying to go to a hockey game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
you should.
We're trying to make it a thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got for the safety brief, bro?
You go. I just had something and I forgot as soon as I was laughing about something else. You go first.
This is the first time I've ever seen one shot in long sleeves.
There's more to that story too. I was just about, and that's exactly where I was going to go. Thank you very much for that. When you are stringing fence, wear long sleeves, a hat, and gloves. Ask me now how I know how.
How do you know how?
Because my wife has got a closed head injury because she poked herself in the face with with barbed wire.
Poor thing.
It was pretty damn funny, actually. And skid steers are hard to drive. Next question. You got nothing, dude?
No, I do. It's on that. We'll say, look, in the military, we were taught something very, very important, very valuable in life. Okay. And we fucking forget it when we're not babysat like we're 2-year-olds and in the military, but wear and bring appropriate needed things. Do a packing list. Don't show up to hang fence with fucking Vans on or your Sperry topsiders and fucking swim trunks, okay?
And linen
from
shirts.
Italy, right? Like if you go to ride your motorcycle and you're not like me and like want to flirt with death all the time, don't wear board shorts and flip-flops, okay?
Does Colorado have a helmet law?
No, we're a free state.
Fucking if your fucking state is a helmet state, fascists.
Not a free state.
I'll fucking
we are.
Like I want
we
to.
are. We're a helmet state. Yep.
Don't
but as
hold
soon
me
as
back.
but if you cross
I wanna
into
be
Rhode
free.
Island, it's not a helmet state. And if you go crossing in New Hampshire, it's not a helmet state, but Massachusetts is.
So, well,
Gotta catch me.
Now you're both stuck here for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the part of the show that sucks. It brings us to Never Forgotten.
Oh, I'm standing up. My legs dead.
The U.S. Army helicopter pilot who died in a helicopter crash on Wednesday was identified as 40-year-old Chief Warrant Officer Dustin K. Wright. The U.S. Army released Wright's name on Friday, June 13th. Wright and another helicopter pilot were on board an AH-64 Apache helicopter when it suffered an unspecified accident. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, when you put your hands together and you say your prayers, please think of the family of Chief Warrant Officer Wright. Remember that every single thing that we do, when we strap on the boots, when you put on the badge, when they step in the back of that ambulance and they start their shift, every single thing that our first responders and our nation's military does is very, very dangerous in training and everything they do when they step on the street. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of the show. Have a great rest of your night. We really appreciate your support, and thank you.
Bye, boys.
Good night, Allie. Bye.